Welcome to Honor of Kings. Enemy minions will arrive in 5 seconds. All forces, move out!
We have our team!
Alrighty, what's up everybody? Here again, playing some Donghuang. This was a very sweaty match. We had a miraculous comeback. I generally thought we were going to lose this. My team was trolling quite a bit, and when it was critical playtime, they were just not acting. They were kind of lying down, giving up. This is do or die. There is no room for give up. You need to act the whole time. You need to have full aggro when it's necessary. Critical play means you need to act when it's time critically to act. You can't just not do something. There's no passiveness. There's mind game and passivity when it's non-critical play, but when it's go time, you must act. So with that being said, a little irritated about the performance of this game, but it'll be a good show. You can kind of see a little bit of humility from me in dying so many times. I still put up with an S here, and I had a lead on all the assists here. So looking good. You can see the secure was attacking my mid lane and pushed them back. I tried to secure DRenji all this gold because DRenji is a hyper carry, so that's good stuff. The mid lane here, the Gao, was just chilling there. I don't know what he's doing. He takes all that damage. The build is pretty disgusting in the amount of damage that those orbs do, and on contact and on activation from the tap is pretty good stuff. I'm totally hacking my flicks. I could tell these low IQ losers need hacks or something. My flicks are absolutely perfect. I have too much videos of perfect flicks. So kind of unfortunate reality. These people are top percentage players and they don't like it because I have the reflexes of creative genius, which is way better than them. Reality is part of that. So I'm not trying to deceive you guys or anything like that. The reality here is you might not have the reflexes, but what I can do for you in terms of the service that I can give you is make you more competent, make you understand those evolving conditions, and make your lives easier. The reality is I'm kind of a lazy creative genius, and what that means is I make things so much easier for myself that I can do that for you. These are perfect builds. I cook up perfection. It's unfortunate DRenji dies and the Yao here gets fed. You can see the Yao here sitting at 003. Those assists still add up to gold. The mutation, the stealth, the eagle eye. Typical meta here, and Consort gets those 2 kills. Calamity here, Hunt, Reaver, Eagle Eye. I'm the one who started with the Calamity in Season 6 before any of them. They definitely just copy me. Right. I always had Calamity, Reaver, and Eagle Eye. You can check my old videos in Season 6 and then check everybody else's videos. I did it first. Right. I did the builds first. The Spark Forge, I did that first. Right. But whatever. I'm not trying to have an ego about it. It's a little concerning that all these people are so two-faced and don't want to give respect where it's deserved, where I give unconditional respect to all opponents. Otherwise you eat it. Right. If you can't respect the opponent, then you're going to make mistakes. The reality is ultimate respect shows in your movement and your competency and in your ability to dodge and your ability to interpret their behaviors and their actions and behaviorals. And all my videos show ultimate respect to all players involved. So with that being said, we're just kind of venting it out, whatever. I don't like to be tilted and stuff. So we died one time here. We got that aura here. I found out that it was hacking the aura here in this match because it wasn't showing the aura on the passivity with that magical defense aura that affects your whole team. And it's whatever. It's whatever. They need that to pretend that this is realistic gameplay. Well, for maybe a normal person playing the game, sure it might be. But the reality is, for me, not necessarily authentic of my skills at the game. Either way, with that being said, I didn't be a poor sport about it. I didn't have a temper tantrum. You know what I'm saying? I still try my best. I try to kill them. There, we grab that done there, so they don't have that dive potential. And I die for a 1 kill, so I try to gold trade that at least. If I'm gonna die, I'm trying to take someone out with me, you know, go out with a bang. So I see the Frost Mage coming here. There was a little bit of concern over the Frost Mage here because she wasn't making really good plays. I don't know what happened there. She totally missed that. That's not good. You should have set it on your own person there instead, and she didn't do that. You can see I just got my group shield redemption. There is 2 versions of that, one that adds hyper carry value and one that adds the aura. I like the aura because tankier means easier wins, because you're securing less damage to yourself, mitigating that damage, and you're providing that for your team in utility and a passive aura. Plus you get the shield, so I can outplay them with popping up an activatable shield on my own teammates. Sometimes you get some clutch plays there, sometimes you don't. I see him going for this. I'm like, no, leave them alone. At least the Frost Mage here comes in and has great rebuttal game. That was literally perfect. You can see the Crucial Crowd Control ×3, gets a double kill. Shut down there, looking good. HoK comes over there and kills somebody there as well. Really good stuff. Like, they did not have it together this match, man. But you'll see. Anyways, we're being objective realists. This is definitely not a slander. This is us being critical at critical times so that you can learn from the mistakes that are had. And again, this is high level, high elo play. Everybody here is top percentage. Everybody here is Grandmaster. Everybody here is highly intelligent. But for whatever reason, they're like trolling or being annoying by Google definition. It is what it is. Again, I don't lose my cool in the middle of a game. I'm tilt proof, so I still come in and I try to do my part. Try to get this consort here. Perfect flick. You can tell when it's perfect or when it's not. It's usually always perfect. The only time I won't do it perfect is specifically for zone. Again, going over the zone here. Zone is your ability to control the enemy's movement. Sometimes I'll just shoot it in the middle of all of them, and that will easily break them apart. So that's critical play, getting them separated so your team can clap specific targets. Pushing that back line back when you can is critical play. Again, we die for my teammate to survive, and the Frost Mage gets out of there with barely any life. You can tell I'm totally a good sport and then willing to die when it's necessary for us to give more gold to my team, for them to have a fighting chance in following rule number 2 and getting gold XP. Again, if you're dying all the time, it's going to be real hard to get back on that gold. If you're dying all the time, it's going to be really hard to stay ahead. And if you're dying all the time, the other component to that is you're losing map pressure. And we're really lucky right now. It looks like we're pretty even on the map pressure game, but that is always subject to change. Those death timers get really long at the end of the game. You'll see here, this was a very sweaty matchup, a very long match. So that being said, take this all the right way. Definitely not going on a tantrum or whatever. I'm a pretty good sport about all things considered. Even on a losing matchup, I still give people thumbs up or whatever. At least on the enemy side, pretty much all the time. And then if I find out that my team's trolling and stuff and they don't want to play, then whatever, I'll not give it to them. I'll give it to the enemy team. Right. So the reality is here, it's not only about who wins and who has better macro, but at the end of the day, the person who deserves it is going to take it by force. So that full aggro, that competency, that critical decision making, it's up to you to take charge, be a leader, lead the game, leading Nefex, have some conviction Nefex, fight back Nefex. Nefex is a great artist. If you need motivation in your life, listen to Nefex. He will change you for the better. Again, try to do some stuff for my team, but we're totally outnumbered. They totally got the jump on us. First strike us like MTG, Magic the Gathering. If you don't know Magic the Gathering, play that card game. You would be surprised how your brain evolves just from playing a simple card game. It's a very complex game, but once you get the hang of it, you realize that playing that game will make you evolve as a person, and those are things that you can apply to the rest of your life. So watch the movies, listen to the music, play the other games I play. You'll realize your brain slowly but surely will start evolving. Now, it might not happen overnight, Logic, the song, but it will happen. Again, our brains are designed in neuroscience to absorb data, stimuli. It's called stimuli. Any form of data going into your senses is called stimuli. And those are things that we reciprocate in our brain. We learn from it. And your brain will evolve. You will get smarter. You will become more competent. And those are things that you can apply to all aspects of your life. It's a wax on, wax off mentality. Rest in peace, Mr. Miyagi. We see Frost going for a play here. At least she has some really good zone there. Totally stopped that, so that's really good. Again, objective realism. But you know, it goes without saying. I'm not throwing you on the bus. I'm not slandering you. I'm just saying there's certain times where a critical play needs to happen. And if you miss or it doesn't happen, it's kind of like Darkbreaker, right? He says the same things in his videos. I'm sure you all know him. He's a really good player. And unfortunately, he's not on the YouTube anymore, which really sucks, but it's okay. I've learned a lot from him, and I'm pretty similar to him. We just completely destroy that consort. You land that stun there and slow down with the combination of me and the Frost Mage. So really good stuff there. Yukio's going for a play here, comes back with the perfect gap close and just deletes that and stops him from killing the Frost Mage. Very exciting stuff. Extremely exciting stuff. And this game is so much fun. I am completely addicted to this game. Again, there's times, especially on the previous videos I showed you guys, if you look at the old videos with no analytical commentary, I'll be playing 16 hours a day while maintaining my stars. Right. So I just have a great love and joy for this game. There's definitely a passion here where this game is just, it's a wonderful experience when everybody's doing their job and we're playing as a cohesive unit and then the enemies are competent. There's a reward here, a feeling of joy that can't be reciprocated anywhere else. It can't be replicated anywhere else. Now, obviously, all games give a level of joy, but this one just takes the cake for me, in my opinion. As we're coming back here, coming back strong. They're not lying down as much. They're starting to realize that the enemy team is playing pretty much perfectly. With that being said, they're like, we need to up our game. We need to go in here. Perfect land on that ultimate here with the Princess Frost. They're definitely not trying to lie down now. I'm like, come on, let's get with it. Let's get with it. Let's have some vigilance. Let's play competent all game. Vigilance is a very strong word, and that basically means you stay at the ready, you keep your head on a swivel, and you try all game long. This is definitely do or die, or as they say in the chat, give up and die. Which is pretty aggressive, but you know, that's what HoK is about. You know, China doesn't fuck around. They are the developers of the game, and they say, give up and die then. Okay, well, right. At least you could be humble then. Sit down and be humble, Kendrick Lamar, and then give it to them. But in this specific game, I'm not going to lie down. I want my stars. I'm going to keep trying tooth and nail all game long. Right. Even if I have to die for you. Sometimes the support has to die. Again, I have a lot of videos on my channel with absolute perfection or near perfection, including deaths. Even in death, there is absolute perfection. Especially that triple S Lee's in. That's on my channel. You can see the power of the split push on Lee's in. Anyways, but this is more of a humble moment for me. Again, my team kind of threw me on the bus a little bit. Gripes aside. Either way, we won. There's no reason to be tilted. I'm like, my goodness, the real reason to be tilted is those hacks. So that's my main thing here. So report those people. When they do that, I totally didn't have a chance to because I was rushing to go into the video here because I was pretty excited because I got an S. And this was a long one, a nice sweaty matchup here. Totally get caught out there, outplayed. Nothing I can do about that. And we just got wiped out. Durenji picks up a few kills and Consort gets a quadra kill. I do have Consort videos on my channel, so if you're interested in that, there is no commentary, but the videos are pretty entertaining. So if you're looking for some ADC games, I do have that. When I started in Season 6 and 7, I was an ADC main, but sometimes I would use Clash Lane as my backup. So I got a little bit of everything, kind of a little low on the jungle game and the mid game, but if you need that, just let me know. I do have that high-no mid lane game if you're interested in that, and I'll be looking to get some more. But it's a lot easier for me to play Clash, ADC, and support. So if you guys especially need something on those 3 lanes, let me know, and I'll try to cook something up, something that's going to be easier for everybody, something that's going to be OP, something that's going to make these people get mad and need to hack or whatever. The reality is they'll probably leave you alone, right, because they think it's unfair that I'm creative genius, but the reality here is if I cook you something up, then you will be having good joy. Right, you're gonna have an easier time. I'm gonna take the stress component out of your gaming, and that's what we're giving to you. We're giving you the analyzation, we're giving you the evolve, we'll give you some wins, we'll make things easy for you. There's gonna be no stress. That's what I'm hoping to achieve. Give you the best of me, effects. Right. And even though this game was stressful, I was still tilt-proof. I was like, whatever. If I have to die for you to give you the chance to come back in the gold, as you can see, we did come back in the gold, so me dying wasn't necessarily a bad thing. Again, I still got an S. Sometimes you have to die to give them that opportunity. And the build is really, really good. So even if I die, I get a lot of peel on their cooldowns, not necessarily peeling them from the enemy team like an apple or something. You're peeling it off, you know what I mean, in terms of analogical. But even in death, when you're tanking all that, you're peeling off their cooldowns, getting summoner spells. That gives them opportunity. Yes, we have the shortest cooldowns in any MOBA game. That's not even including cooldown reduction. But there's still small windows of opportunity. You'd be surprised how long it takes to kill someone. Sometimes it only takes a few seconds when you're in clap mentality. But you can still duke it out. Try to stop that, try to split them apart. It does not work out. This Yao is pretty good. You can see here, he's sitting at a 4-4-15. He's kind of been just assisting though. He's not necessarily hard carrying himself, but he is hard carrying in the support game. So with that being said, he's a pretty good Yao. Again, I showed you his build there. So you can try to reciprocate that yourself. DRenG's been doing some work here, gold trading, but he has 6 assists. You can see his runes here, the Red Moon. I've been liking the Red Moon myself too. I actually switched out Calamity for Red Moon on the Lee Sin. Otherwise, I typically use Calamity. But it sure is nice on a hyper carry to have that extra attack speed because it synergizes so perfectly. I really like the Red Moon a lot. Inheritance is also good if you like just flat attack damage. Especially on a consort, you can put the flat attack damage there. And you'll have a lot of value, especially in shooting out that arrow. That arrow is absurdly overpowered. So to have extra damage on that, you will chunk them down. And you can flick with that and just shoot them in the face. And it's pretty satisfying. Again, the level of joy is real. Try to use that redemption there. I don't know if I was in range, unfortunately. Try to stop all this, push him away. Try to take this aggro, try to bring them in just a little bit closer, but not too close. And they just get completely raped. I couldn't do anything about it. I'm like, God darn. But it's all good. It's about putting in that effort. Sometimes games are going to be a little bit harder. Sometimes they're going to be a little sweatier. That's fine and dandy. It's up to you to stay calm, cool, collected, and just persevere is the word. So I'm all about boosting up that motivation. You'll tell from the music. I'm definitely into staying hyped or amped or juiced up. It's all about having that positive mindset moving forward. So even in hardships and hard instances of each individual game. That's what I mean by instance, because each game is its own instance. You're going to have good ones, you're going to have bad ones. It's up to you to fight through that. Think of life and these games as a test. Don't let people get to you. And don't let your teammates get to you. Right. Just stay chill. Calm, cool, collected, the 3 C's. See stuff going down here. I try to do something about it. I'm just completely caught here, so we just react and try to grab that consort U, which was a good play, because I don't want that consort U to stay there. DRenG gets a double kill here, really good damage on that. You can see this damage, really, really nice stuff. There, can't even hard focus it because they got too much on him. Dunn couldn't even react. He tries to, and it didn't work out. DRenG's, look at that damage on this DRenG. DRenG is such a good pick. Definitely love the DRenG. Hyper carry for the win in the ADC lane. DRenG is a good one. Garo is a good one. Hui is a good one. Right. There's some other viable picks. Alicia's been doing really strong lately. Aaron, you'll see them either go hybrid, AP, or AD. Aaron's a good one for sure. Lots of choices in this game. It feels very balanced. In comparison to all the rest of the MOBAs, yeah, we have quite a lot of broken. But the reality here is that a lot of the champions have a lot of OP-ness in them. So try this game out. If you haven't played it yet, maybe you're just new to the channel and just checking it out to see what you might be getting yourself into. Try to grab this done here and stop that. Maybe she can get some skills here. Yao's not necessarily diving, so that seemed appropriate. And I can still take on both of them here at the power of the build with those Fate, Harmony, Void runes. And having 3 balls. Again, critical playmaking on having those balls up. And then waiting for them to gap close into my Frost Mage before I throw them out. You definitely don't need to do that so soon. Definitely wait until they gap close and then try to cut them off to buy them some time, because that slowdown, that utility, will give her more breathing room, kind of alleviate the stress. A good support comes into the game and takes the stress away from your opponents. Or from your team, excuse me, correction.
Shut down.
Really low there, so there's not much I can do without greeting. Trying to just stick my head out and see if they'll come after me and I can throw my balls out to get some quick movement speed and maybe disappear. You can see Consort U coming in here. This was a pretty epic moment as well. DRNG just instantly claps that. They get that. You can see this power on this Frost Mage. You can see this build. Really good stuff, especially with that Sickle, the second tier 3 there. And then you get the late game scaling on the Savant, that third tier 3. Why? Because it boosts your total AP. So each additional AP item means you increase your total AP by a specific percentage. And that percentage is pretty high. So really good stuff there. They got that. Dunn comes in, pretending he's going to come in and dive my team. I'm like, no, sit there. Sorry, I'm going to ult you, and you can't do anything about it. And I'm feeling good about myself. I'm like, well, you know, pretty good play on my part. What can I say? My job to stop you, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to provide a brick wall and say, no, you shall not pass, Gandalf. Lord of the Rings, you know? I like movies a lot. You guys like movies? Love movies. As we just take this aggro here, push them up. You can see I can take shots. I can take all that damage. Donghuang is absolutely disgusting when built this way. So try this build out if you're into that. Donghuang is a force to be reckoned with. So just briefly looking over these builds here.
Checkmate.
Everything on my team looks perfect. I can say that they're playing meta, the most effective tactic available. They're not trolling, except for in the behavior, maybe in the beginning. And maybe trolling is a strong word, and they just didn't want to try that hard in terms of sweat. Sweat is a very specific word. Maybe they just weren't sweating in the beginning, but the reality is the other enemy team was sweating all game long. But we pulled through. Again, this goes back to the never surrender. Checkmate. Looking good. Anyways, the enemy team also looking like they had really strong builds. Definitely meta here on all participants. So I can say GGWP to everybody involved. Let's just move forward into the metrics here to see the next part. Really high team participation rating. They call it team fighting here on that green bar. So really good stuff. There was definitely a lot of team fighting going on. That does happen when it gets super sweaty. So you'll notice that, especially when you get to the more sweaty level of play at the higher elo, higher tier, higher MMR. Things get real intense real quick, and that only provides extra joy to the level of joy in the game already. So that sweatiness, if you're into that, this is a place to be. 28% here on the damage dealt with the Durenji. Really powerful stuff. You can see that as 223,000. A very big number. You don't usually see above a 200,000 here. So really powerful stuff. Same with me on my damage taken. Really good builds to be able to pull off that number and that stat. 27% on the secure there. 210,000 damage taken. Again, upwards of hundreds. That Consort U took the cake for the overall damage with 230,000, 33%. MVP, double SS. I was speaking about it in the last video, but even though she lost, she probably did not lose a pip with a double SS, right? So basically she got some amnesty there and forgiveness, and then she just goes into the next game feeling like, I'm feeling myself, we're doing good, and I got the moral to keep pushing forward without necessarily being demoralized. So really good stuff on the MVP Consort there, Legion 85. He did not lie down. He put his best foot forward, and the devs are like, we're not going to punish you. We're going to give you a double SS. You really did your job. So he's really shining on that enemy team and can feel good about himself. And then MVP here on our Frost Mage here, the Princess Frost, the double SS. 23% there with the 185,000 damage. Really strong stuff there. She also took quite a bit of damage herself, and she had really critical plays there backing us up at critical moments. There's a few times where she kind of messed up a little bit, but that's okay. It's a learning experience. Sometimes that happens, but you get to see what happens when someone doesn't get the critical play at the critical component. So it's not a slander thing. Again, we still won. So with that being said, that's about it for the metrics here. We'll go into the endgame match sequence here. Looks like we had 9 turrets. They had 6. We had 1 of those orange dragons. Can't say I know what they're called, Tempest or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. We had 3 of the Overlords. They had 3 of the Tyrants. So that damage was definitely causing some problem. They had that early in the game. As you can see, the unevolved one there, and that was making things very difficult for us. So goes to show, like in the previous video, those Tyrants will really give you some value in movement and damage to tilt that micro in your favor, which will help you secure the macro. Anyways, that's about it for this video, guys and girls. We'll catch you in the next one. Remember to keep on analyzing, evolving, winning. Check that tier list if you're having trouble. You feel like you're in elo hell. Try to use the S plus, and the broken part, the very top of the list. And try to keep in mind synergy with your teammates. So don't just pick something because you like it. Try to pick things that are going to be of value and in synergy with all champions on your team. Check that description for the 5 rules to winning the MOBAs. Check that description for the 3 steps to success in any game. And with that being said, that'll conclude this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, bye.